Bum, dun, 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 dun. I love it when a plan comes together. And can you believe it's been 40 years since this show came out? Well, prepare yourselves as I talk about the A Team in this TV log. This is a Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews TV log, and I pay the fool who doesn't watch this video. I'll pay him! So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Joel, better known to as the Big D, back again with another TV log. This time, it's gonna be on one of my favorite shows of the 80s. Yep. Now, it was 4 years ago on this very day that this group of, well, characters came to us and gave us action, comedy, and what have you. Became a big set pop culture phenomenon and made a household name of one of its stars, of course. Well, I'm talking about a group consisting of four men: John Hannibal Smith, Howlin' Mad Murdoch, Templeton Faceman Peck, and Bosco B.A. Baracus. They are better known to you as the A Team. The A Team was an action adventure series that also mixed in comedy and drama and what have you. It originally premiered on NBC on this very day, January 23rd, 1983. The show was produced by Universal along with Stephen J. Cannell Productions, who recently had a bit of a cult success with The Greatest American Hero, which had just ended previously, but would go on to give us some other shows as well. Okay, now, the A Team was about former members of a fictitious United States Army Special Forces unit. Four members of the team were tried by court martial for a crime they had not committed. They were convicted and sentenced to serve terms in a military prison, but later escaped to LA and began working as soldiers of fortune while trying to clear their names and avoid capture by law enforcement and military authorities. As of course it was best known in the show's intro. In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A Team. Now, originally, when it first started, they said 10 years ago instead of 1972. Because this was a mid-season replacement, and it started out in as a pilot movie on this day. Then the following week, it became an actual series, which premiered right after the Super Bowl and became a big success. Anyway, the creative team of this were by the writers and producers Stephen J. Cannell and Frank Lupo, at the behest of Brandon Tartikoff, NBC's entertainment president. Now, of course, Cannell was fired from ABC in the early 80s after failing to produce a hit show for the network and was hired by NBC because, well, he had recently done a factually minor, well, modest success in ways with The Greatest American Hero. Now, his first project was The A Team for NBC. Tartikoff pitched the series to Cannell as a combination of The Dirty Dozen, Mission Impossible, The Magnificent Seven, Mad Max, and Hill Street Blues with Mr. T driving the car. Yes. Now, while not generally expected to become a hit, although Cannell has said that one of the stars suggested it would be a huge hit before they ever turned on the camera. And yes, it became popular. The show remains prominent in pop culture for its cartoonish violence, in which people were seldom seriously hurt, despite the frequent use of automatic rifles and explosives. Formulaic episodes in its characters' ability to quickly construct ad hoc weaponry and vehicles out of seemingly random parts, and its distinctive theme tune. The show boosted the, which I better tell you who the main characters are. Now, of course, the leader of the group is Lieutenant Colonel John Hannibal Smith, played by George Papard, who was a pretty big veteran movie star. And he's also a cunning master of disguise. His most used disguise on screen, only in the pilot episode, is Mr. Lee, the dry cleaner, who performs one of the final parts of the client's screening process, concluding by telling clients where to go to make direct contact with the A-Team. And of course, he's well known for his catchphrase, "I love it when a plan comes together, and always smokes a big old cigar." He dresses most often in a tan safari jacket and black leather gloves. And he carries either a Browning high-power Colt M1911A1 or a Smith & Wesson Model 39 as a sidearm, most often Mexican carried, inside the waistband without a holster. Although he uses a holster when on missions. Next up is Lieutenant Templeton Faceman Peck, or Face for short. He's the face for the A-Team and a master of persuasive arts. Playing him is Dirk Benedict, who was best known for starring in the original Battlestar Galactica. Now, originally he was played by Tim Dunnigan in the pilot film, but then of course Benedict took over the role. Let's see now. Now, Face is the team's scrounger and con artist. He can get virtually anything he sets his mind to, usually exploiting women with sympathy, appeal, and flirtation. Really something. He carries a Colt Lawman MK3 revolver for protection and drives a custom white 1984 Corvette with red trim, which he buys several episodes into the second season. He's also the team's accountant, dressing suavely, often appearing in suits, and can blend in well with the upper class, sometimes scamming luxury apartments for long terms, as well as regular visits to exclusive restaurants and other things. Then, of course, there's the team's resident pilot, the zany Captain Howling Mad Murdoch, who is played by Dwight Schultz, who was kind of in a way the comic relief of the show. And he can fly any kind of aircraft with considerable skill. However, due to a helicopter crash in Vietnam, Murdoch apparently went insane and lives in a veterans hospital in the mental wing. Whenever the rest of the team requires a pilot, they have to break him out, generally using Face to do so. In the first 4 seasons, Murdoch has a different imaginary pet, friend, or alter ego in each episode. And when one of his imaginary pets or friends is killed by an enemy, Murdoch usually snaps and takes revenge, but never kills. And what have you. Now, I will tell you the team does take a good line to him. I know Hannibal will side with Murdoch in a sympathetic way. Murdoch usually wears a leather flight jacket, a baseball cap, and basketball sneakers. Once he is discharged from the hospital in the 5th season, Murdoch has a different job in each episode. Now he does get along with most of the team, except for maybe the big tough guy, the muscle of the A-Team, Sergeant Bosco B.A. That stands for Bad Attitude, Baracus, played by Mr. T, who recently played Clubber Lang in Rocky III the previous year. Yeah, well, He always gets annoyed and aggravated by Murdoch's delusions and usually yells that his imaginary pet friend or identity is not real, often making violent threats against him if he persists. These threats are never carried out, but they do have the effect of limiting Murdoch's expression of his fantasies, perhaps just enough to keep them in check so that Murdoch can do his job on the team. Many times when Baracus is mad at him for being crazy, well, like I said, Hannibal will side with him in a sympathetic way. Anyway, BA is able to perform exceptional feats of strength. He's also the team's mechanic, master at arms, demolition, and weapons specialist as well. Unfortunately, despite him calling Murdoch crazy fool, you're a crazy fool, his true feelings of friendship are revealed when he prevents Murdoch from drowning in his desire to live like a fish. And also, he has a deep aviophobia, which of course means he's afraid of flying. And the others usually have to trick him and or knock him out to get him on an aircraft. It is very rare that Baracus is awake while flying, and even rarer for him actually to consent to it. When he does, however, he then goes into a catatonic state. Now, he generally wears overalls and leopard or tiger print shirts in the early seasons and wears a green jumpsuit in the later seasons. He is almost always seen with many gold chains and rings on every finger, and also wears a weightlifting belt. Baracus' hairstyle is always in a mohawk-like cut. He drives the team's van, a customized black GMC van. Actually, it's black and metallic dark gray with an angled red stripe between that serves as the team's usual mode of transport. Now, of course, there were lots of other as well on the show. Let's see. Now, for the first season and the first half of the second season, the team was assisted by reporter Amy Amanda Allen, played by Melinda Klee. In the second half of the second season, she was replaced by Tanya Baker, played by Marla Heasley. It's also had Tia Carrere in one of her early performances as a Vietnam War orphan now living in the U.S. Was meant to join the team in the fifth season, as a matter of fact. But well, yeah, she was to be on there, so she would have. So that was my mistake, and was replaced by the character Frankie Santana, played by Eddie Velez, and was later added to the opening credits for the fifth and final season after its second episode. And in the fifth season, they also introduced General Hunt Stockwell, played by the late great Robert Vaughn, whom we lost a few years ago. 6 years ago. Let's see here. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Who, while serving as the team's primary antagonist, was also the team's boss and joined them on several missions. So, anyway, that's the group for you. Anyway, I really did enjoy it. Now I'm seeing why Miss Tia Carrere was not part of the show. It was due to her being under contract at ABC for their soap General Hospital. Anyway, the show had numerous special guest appearances from a lot of characters. Among some of them included Boy George of the band Culture Club, Isaac Hayes, Hulk Hogan, Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, Rick James, the guy who gave us Super Freak. Let's see here. William the Refrigerator Perry. Marky Post, who would later go on to be on the original Night Court. And even Pat Sajak and Vanna White in the episode, which was actually called Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, can you believe that? I can't. Nah, I'm just playing with y'all. But anyway, the A-Team is definitely really a cool show. Anyway, it did pretty well. During the show's first 3 seasons, it did pretty well. By its fourth season, it unfortunately kind of took a bit of a drop and what have you. And then its ratings dropped when it would go for its fifth season. It made the top 10 for its first 3 seasons, but finished 30th in the fourth season and out of the top 50 at 61 in the final season, where it went from one time slot to another. So anyway, yeah. Now the series achieved cult status and went to syndication at times. It got shown on various channels, including TV Land, Esquire Network, as well as Cozy TV. Now, of course, the show is now. Last summer, the show got added on to Me TV, which you can find at each week. Well, Monday through Friday nights. You can find the full series on streaming services as well from Cozy's website, as well as Stars, El Rey, Tubi, and Peacock. Also, Universal had released the show on DVD as well. Of course, it got released in 2004 with its first season, in 2005 the next season, then early 2006 season 3 came a few months later, came the fourth season, and by October 2006 the fifth season came out. And then they released a complete series in 2010 in a what looked I think it was like a collection of the A-Team van. But of course, I've got here a re-release of it, the complete collection. Yeah, don't really know which year it came out, but it has bonus episodes of other shows and what have you. And well, I've recently seen every episode of this. I really enjoyed it. They talked about doing a reboot series years ago, but we don't know yet. In 2010, there was also a feature film from 20th Century Fox, which had Liam Neeson as Hannibal, Bradley Cooper as Face, Quentin Jackson as BA, and Sharlto Copley as Murdoch, along with Jessica Biel and Patrick Wilson. So anyway, yeah. I really did enjoy the A-Team for what it had to offer and what have you. Now, the A-Team became so big, it had numerous other things, including trading cards and stickers, action figures produced by Galoob, as well as action figures, and lots of other things. There was also a comic book series from Marvel. It was a 3-issue. Let's see here. There was even books and what have you. Several novels were based on the series and what have you. And there was even even some features of the theme song that appeared. There was also even some books for kids on books and recordings. There were some that were released internationally by Rainbow, which would mostly distribute the Buena Vista and Disney books. Here in the U.S., we got 2 stories from Peter Pan Records, which you can find those on YouTube, as a matter of fact. And they're based on 2 season 2 episodes. The Maltese Cow, which I happen to have owned as a kid, by the way. I had a book and recording of them, The Maltese Cow, and the other being Steel. Again, they're both season 2 episodes. If you'd like to hear those actual kid-friendly stories, I think you might want to check them out. But anyway, yeah. I really think this was a great show. But anyway, here's another look at our characters. Here's Face, it's BA, Hannibal, and Murdoch. You see them all. And then of course there's the van. So anyway, I think the A-Team is just a great show. I really do love it. I'd recommend you check this out if you haven't. Again, you can find it on physical media. You can also find it on streaming services like Tubi and Peacock. So anyway, that's going to do it. So anyway, what did you think of the A-Team? You like this show? Well, if so, then let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And next time and tomorrow, since it's my birthday tomorrow, I am going to be taking that day off. So I humbly apologize if there will be no birthday streams this year on YouTube. So please bear with me. I want to take a slight break from doing that. So please, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, okay? But I'll be back after my birthday to do my review on my emails in the Great Space Chase, and then follow up with a spoiler-free review of Violent Night. Okay, good. That about covers it. So thanks for watching, and if you like this, check out these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is a TV log I did for another show that was on at the time the A-Team would come out. Well, it came out a few months before this, and that'd be the original Knight Rider, which came out in 1982. Or go to the upper right-hand corner and see the Saturday morning TV log I did on the Mr. T animated series, which debuted later the same year as the A-Team did. Or if you would like maybe something else, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Rocky 3, which introduced Mr. T to us as Clubber Lang. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the TV logs, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and I will try and give you another TV log sometime down the road. I'm going to try anyway. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.